Hi, I'm Dr. Elizabeth Zhang, and I am an ophthalmologist and oculoplastic specialist. Today, I'm going to talk about what's called presbyopia. So, presbyopia is a term used for the reason why people, as they get older, start to need reading glasses. So, our eyes do something called accommodate, and we do it really well when we're first born. And basically, this means that the lens in our eye bends in order for us to be able to see both distance and near. Throughout our lifetime, the lens actually grows. There are more layers added onto the lens. And as the lens grows, it becomes less flexible. So the lens in the eye is less able to actually bend as we get older. And this has been happening throughout our entire life. However, when we're young, there's a lot of ability to what's called accommodate. And so there's a lot of ability for that lens to bend. And so to see distance to near, the amount of bending that needs to happen can be easily done. Now, as we reach our 40s, which is the typical age where presbyopia sets in, the lens has gotten to the point where it can't bend quite well enough for us to be able to actually see both distance and near. It can bend somewhat, so we can see distance and maybe we can see partial near, but we can't actually see all the way up close. And that's when we start to use reading glasses. So reading glasses usually start with like +1 or +1.25, which is +1.25. And that's the smallest kind of reading add. And as we get older, that add starts to increase in order for us to be able to actually read small fine print. And that's because, again, the lens is no longer bending. People who are hyperopic have a plus refraction. And I did do another video that kind of spoke a little bit about glasses prescription refraction. And so if you're young and you have, let's say, a +2 refraction, your eye can actually accommodate and your lens bend in order for that +2 to go to plano so that you can actually still see distance very well. And you can still see near because that lens can still continue to bend from +2 to 0 to kind of like a -2.5, -3, which is kind of what reading distance is. But it may be that once you get to your 30s or later 30s, that the lens can no longer accommodate. And so people who are hyperopic end up needing reading glasses earlier than someone who's not hyperopic. Some people are born nearsighted or myopic and wear glasses in order to see distance well, and they may actually even take off their glasses as they get older in order to read because they have good reading vision. So when people have cataract surgery, and again, cataracts is another video you can visit if you'd like, the lens, the artificial lens that gets put in place can't bend at all. There is actually one specialty lens called the crystal lens, which was made to try to bend, and it sort of works. It's not perfect. Some people find good success with it. Some people don't get that much what's called accommodation with that lens actually bending. But it was actually built with the idea of bending. So there are specialty lenses that instead of bending, what they do is that there are different rings inside the lens. And so some of the rings focus the distance for distance, and some of the rings focus the light to near. And that's what allows you to see both distance and near with those specialty lenses. However, it's not a smooth bend, so that you can't get like everything like, distance, kind of a little closer distance, intermediate, and then all the way up to near. And so those lenses aren't perfect. As well as having those rings can cause other aberrations. People can sometimes have more glare with those lenses. You may also need more light in order to see with those lenses. There have been other implants to try to help people see both distance and near as our ability to accommodate decreases as we get older. There's an implant where basically it makes a pinhole. So if you've ever tried going to the eye doctor and then they actually have you look through a little hole and then the letters are more clear, that's called a pinhole. And the way that works is that it is cutting out all the extraneous light. So only the light that is shining straight ahead actually comes into the eye, and that brings things into more focus. And so if you have really small pupils, that can potentially give you a pinhole effect. So there is a device that's implanted into the eye that basically makes it so that you have a smaller pupil and you get that pinhole effect. That's not something that's commonly done, and I believe it's not actually FDA certified in the United States, but is in some other international countries. So unfortunately, we have not found a way to overcome presbyopia. There's a lot of people working on it because it's going to be a multi-billion-dollar business if someone finds a good way for people to not have to wear reading glasses, or a really nice way where after cataract surgery, people can really see both distance and near. But we're just not quite there yet. I'm hopeful that with all the technology and research that's going into it, that we will be there in the next few decades. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can also visit my website, www.dreyelid.com. Thank you.